Tonight, Court Vision is live from the historic Milwaukee Mile in West Allis, Wisconsin for a pivotal race for the CORT Race Points Manager SuperTrucks Series. Stephen Taylor holds single-digit point leads over Mike Husby and Kyle Young coming into tonight. What will tonight entail as they tackle the oldest oval in America? It's the CORT SuperTrucks from Milwaukee. Next. Hello and welcome to Court Vision's coverage of the CORT Race Points Manager Race of the Week. Tonight we are live from the beautiful Milwaukee Mile in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tonight for the running of the GoDaddy 125. I am your host David Amboys alongside good old Corey Stevens, and we got Andrew Hayes in the booth here tonight. Should be a good one. How you doing, gentlemen?
Not too bad. Ready to watch some good side-by-side action here at the flat 1 mile oval.
Yeah, we're going to see some action here. Let's get it going.
Okay, we appear to be having some issues with our video at the moment. We apologize for that. So we're going to have to go the old school route. Good old-fashioned broadcast video right there. We apologize for that, but we should still be good to go. Real quick, the main story heading into tonight, 3 races to go. Only 3 drivers contending for the championship. This is the longest of the 3 races, or the longest track of the 3 races remaining on the schedule tonight. It is going to be a very, very, very entertaining race tonight. Stephen Taylor leads the points by a count of 5 over Mike Husby, and the number 8 over Kyle Young coming in tonight for this 100-lapper here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, it's a close battle here in the points. Judging by the practice laps, Husby and Stephen Taylor are pretty close to each other. Kyle Young's going to have his work cut out for him tonight. He's got to try and close in speed and in points.
It's going to be one heck of a show here tonight at the Milwaukee Mile.
Anyway, we are getting ready for qualifying here. We're going to have 5 minutes of qualifying. We'll race tonight, 100 laps. We'll have midway caution at lap 50, and then we will have a 50-lap dash to the finish to maybe tighten up those points even closer. I don't know if that's possible, but see what we can do there.
Yeah, those point standings are pretty close right now. Some drivers I'm keeping my eye on in this qualifying session is drivers have been on a little hot streak here lately is Kevin Bartell and Brian Sullivan and Johnny Eckert are pretty high up in the practice standings, so it's going to be interesting to see where they will qualify to.
Yes, it should be very interesting to see how that all goes down tonight. So far in qualifying, I'm trying to see who is running the fastest laps so far. I think it might actually be this man, Chris Sweat here, who is leading the charge here. Actually, no, wait, I take that back. It's Brian Sullivan who is actually leading qualifying so far with a 30.292 as he comes to finish his second lap. We'll see if we can get a lap on there. 30.683 slower on the second lap.
And Brian Sullivan being second fastest in practice right now has the pole for this race. Mind you, Kevin Bartell has not run a lap yet. So we'll see what Kevin can do. Kevin, as Hayes mentioned, has been on an absolute tear in pretty much every league he has run in lately. So I think he's the guy to beat tonight.
Well, I was just watching his qualifying lap, and it was been some issues here. I think he hit the wall a couple times, and none of his laps counted.
That's a tough break. Kevin Bartelt gonna need to start from the back. And Corey, you ran the IndyCar race, the CORT Training Pace Championship Series event here last night. Of course, a completely different animal to these CORT SuperTrucks. What's something to watch out here for at the Milwaukee Mile?
You definitely have to try and maintain your speed. I know that's going to sound really weird, but it's all about throttle control here. You don't want to get on it too early, because if you do, you're going to get way tight. If you get on it too late, you're going to lose a lot of straightaway speed, and that is very, very key, because these straightaways they only meet, they may only be, a mile long track, but these straightaways seem like they go on forever. Another key, turn 3 and 4. Try and avoid the rumble strip. Julian suffered from it last night. Barely caught that rumble strip, sent him right around. I'm not sure how it is in the trucks, but you really have to avoid that one in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, the last time we had a 1 mile speedway at Dover, it was high banked, so this very low banking. Like what Corey was saying, you had to keep your momentum up through the turns and off turns to make a good, successful lap. Looking at the standings here, Sullivan is still P1 with a 30.291, Julian with a 30.341, and Eckert is a 30.386.
Yeah, that's the top three right now, as title contender Kyle Young is, as I try and find him here on the list here, he is actually running, or he qualified in the 7th spot. He is third in points, 8 points behind Steven Taylor, who is the points leader coming into the night, the number 42 for those of you casual viewers, and we have quite a few. Thank you very much for tuning in to Court Vision tonight. Apologize for the technical difficulties we had earlier on, but looks as if we might have gotten all the technical gremlins sorted out, as we have some gremlins around here at Court Vision HQ, so we apologize for that. Sullivan is your points leader, or not your points leader, he is your qualifying leader. It looks like he might actually come home with the pole tonight. Julian Medor second, Johnny Eckert third, then Sean Sadler and Mike Husby 4th and 5th, Joseph Cervone 6th, Kyle Young 7th, Steven Taylor 8th, Chris Sweat 9th, Riley Roush making a rare Truck Series appearance 10th, and Kevin Bartelt is currently 11th, and he's going to finish a lap here of, I believe, is that 2 minutes and 36 seconds or something right there? But it does not matter, as we are just about 60 seconds from going green here tonight.
I take a look at the qualifying times here. Top 3 in points are within 4 spots of each other on the start of this race, and within 4 spots of each other on pit road. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out for tonight, especially in the late stages of this race, if we have green flag pit stops and if we have caution pit stops.
Absolutely. Why don't we go ahead and run down the running order? Brian Sullivan and Julian Medor will be your front row. Johnny Eckert and the number 10 of Sean Sadler will be the second row. Twin Summit trucks tonight of Joseph Cervone and Mike Husby. Then Kyle Young and Steven Taylor. All 3 of those 4 trucks in the title hunt. Chris Sweat, Riley Roush in the Oreo machine. Kevin Bartelt and the number 57 of Jeff Gilmore. And ultimately at the back of the field, Robert Hill will play caboose here tonight for the CORT SuperTruck Tour here at the Las Vegas Milwaukee Mile, historic oval, the oldest oval in America, and we are ready to go for a good one tonight. 100 laps, 100 miles for this GoDaddy 125 as we get ready to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. Well, real quick, Andrew Hayes, final thoughts going through these drivers as they head down this historic back straightaway.
Well, as you were saying, going through the starting grid, Kyle Young, Steven Taylor, Kevin Bartelt, all in the center of the field, so it's going to be very exciting to see them come through the field. As remember in Dover, Bartelt was coming through the field and had an incident with Sullivan, so let's see if he can make it clean here this weekend.
All right, here we go. Ford Mustang pace car pulling through and making the hard left. Very interesting pit road entry. We'll get on that a little bit later. Field coming down to the green. It is Brian Sullivan and Julian Medor leading him to the green. We are underway live from Milwaukee.
Julian gets a great start going into one. He's going to see if he can work on that high side, and he seems to have gotten it. He is going to take the lead going down the back straightaway from Brian Sullivan. Brian Sullivan trying to keep a fender there, but it's not going to happen. Julian will take it into 3 as the leader.
Yeah, Julian Medor will take the point. Now Brian Sullivan facing pressure from Johnny Eckert and Mike Husby in the Summit machine. Very similar to the number 29 of Joseph Servone. Something to watch out for, something to keep an eye on tonight. Could be a little bit confusing for the spotters on top of this grandstand as Medor will lead lap number 1.
Seen some of those drivers flirting with that gray area there outside the groove in 3 and 4. It's pretty sketchy up there. Because last night when we were racing, that if you're up in that gray, your chances are you were going to be hitting that wall.
Medor continues to lead as now the battle appears to be for about the 5th position, a little bit deeper in the field. Kyle Young actually a little bit behind them. It'll be Chris Sweat and Sean Sadler going at it for the 6th position.
And it looks like Sean will get by him now as Chris Sweat and Kevin Bartelt. They're going to battle side by side coming out of 2. Kevin looks like he's got the preferred high line coming off the corner, and he really wants to take that 7th spot away from Chris.
Here they go. Early on in the going here at Milwaukee. Sweat pushes Bartelt up the track possibly as the brake lean machine is trying to get by the ASRA.co machine as Steven Taylor, the points leader, trying to come in tow.
Fastest man in practice is not the fastest man in this race right now. Is Chris Sweat. He will clear him. And he's got, looks like Steven Taylor on the inside. Riley Roush, rare appearance for him. He wants to try and get by Kevin as well, as Kevin is still stuck on this outside through 3 and 4.
Bartelt just trying to find an opening there at the bottom of the racetrack. Hasn't found one quite yet. Now he will. But Bartelt has slid all the way down to the 9th position here. Early on in the going here in Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Julian Medor still facing pressure for Brian Sullivan and Johnny Eckert. And Johnny Eckert, real quick, I want to make mention on Eckert. Eckert's been one of the fine surprises in this CORT season so far, Andrew?
Yeah, that is a really good surprise. He's one of the more nice crowd of the CORT series. He's always there, but he hasn't capitalized yet. But running P3 there, he's gonna hopefully he can make it in as they get really tight on the back of Sullivan's bumper.
Johnny Eckert, the defending or the winner of the Daytona 250 this season, and has really backed up his great performance at Daytona in not just the CORT National Cup Series, but another series as well. Kyle Young running in the 4th spot. Know a lot of you people are tuning in to watch Kyle. Kyle is currently in the 4th spot, holding off his championship contender Mike Husby. Kyle came into tonight 8 points behind Steven Taylor, and if it ended right now, both of these drivers would actually gain on Taylor coming out of the Cheese State.
Guys, looking back in the field, we have a gaggle of cars coming out of 2 here. Kevin Bartelt leads Chris Sweat in this little pack, as you would say. For the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th positions, we've got Steven Taylor, Riley Roush back behind them. And we are side by side, Steven Taylor and Chris Sweat for the 8th position.
Here they go down the front straightaway here as Taylor goes by, as now Chris Sweat facing pressure from Riley Roush, as a lot of these guys, as we said, glued to the bottom here. A very unique 1 mile oval here in Milwaukee, and Julian Medor, the leader, is around. On the back straightaway, caution is out. Wow, what a development here, as Julian Medor has spun it down the back straightaway. Caution is out early on in the going here at Milwaukee. Let's see what happened.
That's a tough break for Julian. Gets a little loose, overcorrects, head on into the wall. Tough break for Johnny Eckert as well. Had nowhere to go and plows into the side of Julian.
Trying to see if we can get a good look here. Here we go. This is a couple laps beforehand, as fortunately our camera gremlins and such have not really been too kind to us tonight. Very ruthless preparation by our technical crew. I guess we need to start paying these guys a little bit better. As let's see if this is the lap where it did occur. Mador going through 1 and 2 here as he catches the rumble strip, comes off of turn number 2, and yeah, that truck, wow, just broke loose and then overcorrected hard into the outside wall right in front of the entire field, and Mador, unfortunately, is out of this one early on.
It looked like, I don't know if it was the rumble strips or he just had no rear grip coming through that exit turn. And I had to give a shout out to everyone that avoided him. Like Mike Husby was pretty damn close getting into him.
Pit stops right now. Let's see. Sean Sadler will come out first. Then it's going to be Sullivan, or is it going to be Eckert? It's going to be Sullivan. Pit road funnels there. Johnny Eckert, then Kyle Young, Mike Husby, Kevin Bartelt, Chris Sweat, and such. Riley Roush decided to stay out that lap, gain a bonus point in this, I believe, his first truck race of the season. So Riley trying to get a point there early on in that 3 truck, and here we go as we'll see Sean Sadler play a little bit of pit strategy and take the top spot right now.
Yeah, look at that. Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry about that.
That's great. It looks like Eckert didn't get much damage. He came out 4th on pit road, so hopefully he didn't get damage from that.
So Roush is going to stay out, as that was a quick caution, quick yellow, as the top 5 heading to the restart early on. Lap 11, Roush, Sadler, Sullivan, Eckert, and Young. Husby runs 6th, Kevin Bartelt, Chris Sweat, Stephen Taylor, and didn't quite see who was running in the 10th spot. Actually, it's Joseph Cervone Racing Newspaper who is running in the 10th spot right now. All right, so quick caution. Unfortunately, Julian Mador out of the event early on here tonight at the Milwaukee Mile, and this place will bite you pretty quickly. It was built over 100 years ago, the oldest oval in the iRacing service, even older than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as here we go for the restart on lap number 12.
Riley Roush guiding the field right here through turns 3 and 4. Pace car about to make that hard left-hand turn. Riley Roush sees the flag stand, and green flag is in the air as we are back on the way here at Milwaukee.
Roush got a really, really good restart on the rest of the field here as they head into 1 and 2. Sadler right behind him. Eckert stuck on the top side. Sullivan thinking better of it. Probably going to try and make a move here down the back straightaway.
We got a whole host of cars flying down the back straightaway as Riley Roush has pulled out to about a 3 truck length lead over Sean Sadler, but he drives it high. Sean looking underneath. Sean got a full truck length, and he's going to take the lead coming down the front straightaway.
New leader Sean Sadler, the Ohio native. But Riley Roush trying to think twice and maybe raise a question of, hey, I can do this now. Not going to be able to. He might actually lose the 2nd spot. He might lose 3rd. Here comes Eckert down the back straightaway. Kyle Young with some connection issues. He's going to need to improve that as now they head into turn number 3.
Yeah, Riley Roush, he's showing that 10-lap-old tires is not the way to go. He's just dropping like a rock.
Kyle Young with some serious connection issues. You know the administration might have to do something about it. What a tough break for Kyle Young. Championship contender with connection issues. Might have stabilized there now, but one scary moment there for any bit because he is just on the brink of being out of this title fight.
Looking up at the front of the field, Sean Sadler has his hands full. Brian Sullivan has worked back up to the back bumper of him. Sean Sadler is just sideways in every corner, it seems. And now Brian Sullivan's looking low. He wants to retake the lead.
Sullivan trying to get his first court victory. Has not won in any of the 3 divisions of the championship online racing teams, and he's looking to change that. He might have a run down the back straightaway as they head into turn number 3. He does. He's on the inside of Sadler, as now he's going to try and take Johnny Eckert, the Daytona 250 champion, on tow.
Well, shout out to Johnny Eckert. I've gotten to race with him a lot more over the course of the last 3-4 weeks. One of the cleanest racers I have ever raced against. I had some great side-by-side battles with him, and he has also improved. I've seen that firsthand, and he's trying to get the lead from Brian Sullivan now. He wants to get another win.
Sullivan trying to get his first. Johnny Eckert trying to get his second. Sean Sadler also trying to get his second. Who can forget the great dramatic finish that they had for the CORT National Cup Series at Homestead last season, coming down to a .15 of a second as the truck gets way wide out of turn number 4 there. It appeared to be Joseph Servone in the 29 who had to get way out of the way there. He's trying to chase down Robert Hill for the 10th or for the 9th position.
Kevin Bartelt there, I got my eye on, is last lap he was there side by side for 5th, but now he already dropped back to 7th. I was listening to his radio there just before the caution, and he let out a big woohoo. So it looks like his truck is hooked up there as soon as he gets running. He's on the outside of Husby on the straightaway. Looks like he will take back the position, but they're side by side, bumper clear.
Yeah, Jim, that is Kevin Bartelt making a big outside pass. And could it be that the flat Milwaukee mile with only about 6 degrees of banking has a second groove tonight?
It's very possible. Look at Julian. He took the lead on that opening restart on the outside. Now Kevin's working the outside. I don't think it's going to work against Brian Sullivan or Johnny Eckert, as they have checked out on Sean Sadler, the third place driver.
About a 1.5 second lead now, as you see there. They're about 1.6 seconds ahead of Sean Sadler, 2.5 seconds ahead of Steven Taylor. Kyle Young has restored his connection, thankfully, and in fact the battle's going to be right there. Taylor and Young now battling for the 4th position, both challenging for the championship. And look at Kevin Bartelt, who has snuck his way back into this battle.
Yeah, as soon as Bartelt is up there, he's going to be a factor here at the end. But he's had to battle this traffic as he gets underneath Kyle Young.
Battle for the 5th position. Bartelt and Young going at it here as we hit the 1/5 mark of tonight's event. They got Mike Husby directly behind them, as there are 2 Summit trucks in the field, as Bartelt goes and makes the pass on the inside, and he will take over the 5th position. Now Young trying to defend Husby down the front straightaway now.
Mike Husby's got his sights set on Kyle Young. He wants to extend his little bit of a lead he's got over Kyle Young in the points and set his sights on Steven Taylor. Kyle Young's got other plans, though, as Husby gets really tight coming off of 2, and he's going to lose a little ground to Kyle Young.
Yeah, he might actually back up to the clutches of Riley Roush there just a minute, as now he's trying to reel in Kyle Young. We'll try and focus in on these points contenders here late in the going of this season. An 8-race first season, and then there will be another 8-race season starting in about 3 weeks' time. That will be kicking off, hopefully, as the Truck Series Director Chris Sweat said earlier tonight, could possibly start at the brand new Lucas Oil Raceway Park at Indianapolis, better known as Indianapolis Raceway Park, in about a month's time. We'll focus back in with that battle. Right now, Brian Sullivan has about a 6/10 of a second lead over Johnny Eckert here. Sean Sadler, Kevin Bartelt, and Steven Taylor. And you can see those 2 have really checked out and built themselves a pretty nice, comfortable lead.
They have, in fact. They're about a half a lap, 3/4 of a lap from catching the tail end. Now, it's obviously going to be a while before that happens, but they are running incredible lap times, and I don't see anyone catching these guys anytime soon.
Eckert running in the 2nd spot. We'll focus in a bit. We'll stay with the 4th, 5th, and 6th place battle. That seems to be the best battle on the racetrack right now. That is Kevin Bartelt, Steven Taylor, and Kyle Young, all battling for the 4th spot.
Yeah, everybody's stringing out here on the backstretch. No big contending of a position right now at the moment.
There is one, actually, I hate to correct you, there is one a little bit further back. Husby is facing some pressure from the 3 of Riley Roush now. That's for the 7th position. Husby is a title contender coming into tonight. He is the best chance of dethroning Steven Taylor after tonight. He is 5 back of Taylor coming into tonight, as now he faces pressure from the 3 of Riley Roush, who, got to give him hats off, coming out and running the Truck Series here at the Milwaukee Mile tonight.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't really run these trucks often, and he's pretty much fast in anything he gets in. And to see him out in a truck seems a little odd, but I'm sure he's going to find a way to work his way up to the front.
Husby trying to hold off Roush here as they head down the front straightaway into turn 1 and 2 once again. Nice shot out the back, and now let's see, Roush actually trying to make the move there as we see Husby work the wheel down the back straightaway here, as we have some new cameras to play around with tonight. As Husby, this is driver cam, we'll see if he gives it to Roush. No, he does not. He is still battling hard there, as now he might do the crossover here. Husby on the inside, this is for the 7th position, and you gotta figure the longer these guys battle, the more they lose touch with Kyle Young in the 6th spot.
And it seems like Husby his truck is just not handling as well as the leaders right now. He's probably just biding his time for the halfway break here.
Yep. Keep in mind, the CORT Super Truck Tour, presented by Race Points Manager, does indeed do some things that you don't see in any other CORT division. We have a halftime caution at lap 50, and you will also see a rule where if a driver creates a caution, they will be sent to the end of the longest line as well. Chris Sweat, want to give him a shout out. He's running in the 9th spot, not really in the middle of anything right now. He might get pressure from Joseph Cervone later on, but Sweat running in the 9th spot and keeping it out there. We've noticed that Chris has definitely improved in the past few weeks with staying in here to the end of these things.
Yeah, Chris has really been trying to work on that. He's, of course, been or had some very bad luck over a few races. I mean, just some stuff you just wouldn't believe unless you actually saw it for yourself. So to see him actually running, keeping it smooth, who knows, might run some pit strategy and might be able to get a top 5 or possibly even win this thing. He's got the talent to do it.
20 laps till halfway and the competition caution. Brian Sullivan still leads. In fact, now he's got a 1.8 second lead over Johnny Eckert. Sean Sadler 5.5 seconds back, as field really strung out here at the Milwaukee Mile. Actually, you know what? The battle's going to be for the 3rd spot. There's Sean Sadler and Steven Taylor going at it. So the battle for the 3rd spot. Championship leader Steven Taylor trying to reel in the rest of the field. He's going to try and make a move on Sadler going down the back straightaway.
Sean Sadler on the outside. Oh, it looks like Steven Taylor is having a little bit of connection issue, but they're running side by side. Number 10 would be Freight Train out of the turn. Looks like that second groove is just not hooking in this early run here. It's like some people are flirting with it, but it's just not working up the exits.
Bartelt will get by him. Sadler falls all the way down to 5th. Kyle Young in the 93 is right there, right behind those two, or those 3, I should say. So he is still in a good chance to gain some points on Taylor, but he's going to have to get by Taylor if he wants to do that. And Taylor moves up the track. There goes Bartelt. Was there a possible bumper there? We'll find out later. As there goes Sadler. He's loose. Hangs on to it. What a save by Sean Sadler. He'll lose all that track position, but he keeps the truck in one piece.
And you have to wonder if Sean Sadler's tires are the effect of this. Remember, he only took 2 on that last pit stop. I think he's feeling the effects now. But Steven Taylor, he's feeling the effects of worn-out tires too, as he got dead sideways through the center of the corner. That allowed Kevin Bartelt to get by. Now Kyle Young, he wants to get by Steven Taylor. He wants to try and close this points lead in.
Yep. Bartelt now with about a 4/10 of a second lead over Taylor as they head through and around this 1 mile oval. What a historic place. One of the staples of auto racing in America.
We just have to come in there. Chris Sweat having bad problems around the front stretch. His truck's destroyed.
Oh no, after we mentioned that Chris was running so well, something has happened to that number 22, or number 15 I should say. Tough break for Chris. Not sure what happened, but hopefully he keeps it out there and tries and keeps it going, as that's just a darn shame for Chris. He had a really decent run going tonight.
Looking back, it was about 4 laps ago. He got sideways coming off of 4 and got up into the wall, damaged his truck, and he hasn't been able to recover since.
As we head down the the front straightaway, that is Brian Sullivan still checked out, 3.5 seconds out in front of the field, and you got to think Brian Sullivan, one of the most snake-bitten drivers in CORT. He's been in contention to win a lot of things here at the Championship Online Racing Teams, just hasn't quite punched through that glass ceiling. Could tonight possibly be it? We'll find out as we'll go through the field a bit right before this halftime break. Brian Sullivan still your leader as he has been pretty consistent in the top 5 all night. As you can see, his lowest position was 4th going through tonight. Johnny Eckert running second. Good run for Johnny as he keeps it in the second spot. Probably just trying to hang on to that second spot until we head to a caution.
Yeah, Johnny Eckert, he's actually starting to lose time to third place Kevin Bartelt. Kevin got around Steven Taylor, maintained about the same distance between him and Steven Taylor. Steven Taylor back here in 4th. He just wants to get out of here with the points lead still. And Sean Sadler is going to round out the top 6. Whoa, he just made the pass for 5th by Kyle Young.
Yeah, a good battle there for the 5th spot. Now Young trying to hang on to that position. As you saw, Sadler got way sideways about 5-6 laps ago and was forced to kind of make some evasive action and hold off and give away all his positions. As now he runs a little bit up a higher line, as now he's going to face pressure from Kyle Young again. As now they head down the front straightaway, will Young have a run?
Kyle Young looking on the inside. Sadler's about dead sideways going into the corner, and Kyle Young trying to use those rumble strips. He's going to get a good run coming off of 2, but it's not going to carry him down the back straightaway. Sean Sadler's still going to hold him off going into 3.
Yeah, Sadler going to hold him off going into 3. Kyle Young had a little bit of a connection issue there earlier on. We'll focus back on this battle later on. But yeah, Young with a connection issue has stabilized. A little bit of a scare there for the championship contender, who needs to have a solid, consistent run to stay on pace with Husby and Taylor tonight.
Sorry, I've been a bit quiet there. I was watching this battle between Cervone, Husby, and Roush. Husby still having some handling issues here, but they're running pretty tight there as Roush gets almost on his bumper on exit 2.
Yeah, that's Husby, Roush, and Cervone. It's Cervone, then Husby. As you can tell, the Red Bull logos on the quarter panels of that truck as Husby gets sideways off of turn number 4, as now he will lose the 8th spot to Riley Roush with a very impressive run, and you gotta wonder what is going on with the 6th truck of Mike Husby.
He's screaming for that halfway time caution now.
Could be championship implications, however you want to put it. Husby needs a caution, and he needs it right about now, as he is now losing even more time. He gets the apron and gets shoved way up the racetrack. Husby, the championship contender in the 2nd spot, 5 points coming into tonight, needs to get better on this halftime caution. Gilmore runs 10th. He's a little bit behind them. Hasn't really been a factor tonight, but he hangs in there in the 10th spot. 4th in points coming into tonight, about 28 back of the leaders. Not really in any prime position to contend, though.
And rounding out the field, Robert Hill Jr., same as Jeff Gilmore, hasn't really been a contender tonight, but he is running well, kept the truck clean, and we'll see if he's got anything for the second half. Speaking of Mike Husby real quick, as y'all mentioned, he wants to see the caution. The good news is he should be able to hang on, not go a lap down. We're only 8 laps away.
Yeah, about 8 or 7 laps away from the halftime caution. To put it in perspective, Husby's going into turn 3 now, and we're going to go ahead and switch over to Brian Sullivan, who has led 30 of the 43 laps so far. He's entering turn 3 now, so you see the big lead that Brian Sullivan has been able to build here, and is doing a great job of hanging on to that top spot. He's got a 5-second lead over Johnny Eckert now. Kevin Bartelt 3rd, Steven Taylor 4th, Sean Sadler in the 5th spot.
As we were mentioning in the back there, everybody's screaming for that caution now. Sullivan wants this race to go green because he is just flying out there. He's, 5.2 seconds that last lap. And that all will be gone in about 6 or so laps.
Yeah, tough break for Sullivan, but if he's got the truck to back it up, then he should be able to take back this lead that he's built out, and no problem. Sullivan is your leader. Johnny Eckert is 2nd. No real changes in the top 2. Kevin Bartelt 3rd, Steven Taylor 4th, and Sean Sadler 5th. The battle might be for that 5th spot. Kyle Young has kind of reeled in Sean Sadler here. See if Sean Sadler will be able to hang on to that top 5 as we head to the halftime break.
Yeah, Kyle Young wants to get by him, but I think he needs to understand there's only 5 laps.
Whoa!
Sean Sadler
Sean
gets
Sadler's
it
around!
and he's sideways.
Caution is out, and he crunches the back bumper of that Menards Chevrolet. Tough break for Sean Sadler. Great run going, as that almost looked as if he's going to merge right in front of Riley Roush. Let's check the replay. Tough break for the number 10 of Sean Sadler there as we head to the replay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think this would be considered as the halfway caution for the court SuperTrucks.
Yeah, I believe if there's a caution that goes over the halftime caution, then yeah, this will be considered the halftime caution. Tough break for Sean Sadler. We'll see if he can get that truck repaired and head back out there, as you hate to see that for Sean there as he hangs on there. Sullivan, caution car as we head down the back straightaway, lap 47. Chances are this will be considered a halfway caution. Not getting a clear word from administration on that, but judging by the fact that this will likely lap over lap 50, we will head to the halftime caution. Sullivan did not want to see that caution, as he probably was enjoying leading by that much, as we head to pit lane, and let's see where we will all shake out.
Look at Kyle Young. Stays out to get that bonus point. That's key because he realizes with Sean Sadler out, that's one less position between him and Steven Taylor.
That's a big move by Young, as we'll follow along the battle out of pit lane. Here we go. Let's see what the rest of the field does. Roush reels in. Taylor is in. As Husby now gets in. Husby was a little bit delayed getting to his pit stall. Might cost him here. Bartelt's out. Eckert's out. Eckert's going to beat Sullivan out. Sullivan's going to lose 2 spots. Servone will get out. And Husby is slow on his pit stop. He might actually be the last guy out here. He might actually get passed by Robert Hill on the exit. No, not quite. Husby will still get out really late, though. But nonetheless, it's Kyle Young who leads right now. We'll see if he'll come in to get service on that pole position Chevrolet.
As far as I could tell on the pit road, everybody took 4 tires and full tank of fuel, so no real pit strategy as Kyle Young comes in to do his service.
Now, Brian Sullivan really hates these halftime cautions. He was leading, and now he's going to fall all the way back to the 3rd position. What a move by Servone, or by Johnny Eggert and Kevin Bartelt there to get by the 22 on the pit stops.
Is their best chance to pounce here on Sullivan. So, like I said earlier, if Sullivan has the truck to back it up, it's going to be a very exciting finish here.
After 48 of 100 laps, there you go. Here's our Race Points Manager race summary, brought to you by Race Points Manager, the official stat-keeping software of the Championship Online Racing teams. 48 of 100 laps, 2 cautions for 5 laps. Going to be 6 here in just a minute. 6 lead changes on the event. And the time of the race, a cool, brisk 30 minutes and 15 seconds and counting.
So, gentlemen, I pose a question to you. What does that first run do to Johnny Eckert and Kevin Bartelt, seeing Brian Sullivan drive so far out into the sunset that they know they have no chance of catching them? What does that do for them for this second run here?
That's a good question. We haven't seen Bartelt there in clean air, so we're going to really see how he does here as we got the one to go. Eckert had been up there all race long. This is his chance to get it done.
Going to be a true second half here tonight, as the caution will end on lap 50 exactly. So they got 50 laps ahead of them tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see what exactly these two can do in front of Sullivan. I think that they saw the lead that Sullivan got out to, almost 5.5 seconds at one point. So it's going to be a very, very interesting number of laps here tonight. Here we go, second half. You guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to make the hard left. Difficult pit entry. I know we were going to touch on it, but we haven't really had green flag pit stops here. It's going to make a hard left. There it goes. We're green here at Milwaukee. Eckert is hanging tight as he's got Bartelt on his outside.
Teammates Kevin Bartelt, Johnny Eckert battle side by side in one. Johnny Eckert with the advantage as they go single file for 1 and 2, side by side for third. Brian Sullivan and Steven Taylor.
Taylor trying to get all that he can. Sullivan now going to move on the inside. He will try and defend that third position. Joseph Cervone battling for the fourth spot now. Will Cervone make a move on the front stretch? He's side by side with Taylor as they head back into turn number 1.
Just an update here on Sean Sadler, who was involved in that accident. He did repair some of the truck. He had a lot of rear end damage, and he's hanging with the pack. So hopefully he's not too affected, but he is back into the top 10.
You can see him right there in the back of your screen, just in the fluorescent yellow of the Menards colors. And I gotta say, the bright yellow Menards colors, those are something that desperately are missed in CORT. It's really nice to see the bright yellow of Menards here in the Championship Online Racing teams. Meanwhile, Sullivan hasn't really gained much on Bartelt or Eckert. He's facing pressure from Joseph Cervone now, and could it be that Joseph Cervone could be the best Husby Motorsports truck here tonight?
He's been quiet all race, but now he's knocking on third place. And no, I'm not Dr. Seuss. Kevin Bartelt, second. They are trying to chase Johnny Eckert as Cervone, again, trying to get on the back bumper of Sullivan there. Sullivan hasn't been in dirty air all race, and it looks like it's affecting him now.
Yeah, as you gotta figure Eckert is enjoying this, and this field is trying to reel in Eckert, but that clean air is so important here at the Milwaukee Mile. Not having to deal with any traffic in front of you as well is being a big help for them.
Yeah, they don't. He doesn't have anyone to worry about. He doesn't have another person's line to worry about. Doesn't have to worry about another person getting the wall. He can focus on himself and his line as Kevin Bartelt's trying to run him down. Now, something we noticed at the first run was once the tires got worn, Brian Sullivan checked out from everyone, including Johnny Eckert. So we'll see. Once these tires get a little worn, let's see if Brian Sullivan can run them down.
Yeah, as now Cervone, a little bit of a higher line through the corner there. Top 5 running, or second through 6th, I guess, running pretty nose to tail right now. Not really checking out, as Eckert has now checked out to about an 0.8 of a second lead, and we'll have to see if that grows here later on in the run as they head through 1 and 2 once again. Cervone trying to get by Sullivan, and Sullivan looks as if he's going to try and make a run on Bartelt.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on some lap times here. Last lap, Bartelt got a 30.7, while the leader did a 30.5 as we come across the line here. Let's see the lap times again. Got a 30.746 for the leader. And Bartelt did his quickest lap, and he just gains a ton there in turn 1.
Yeah, Bartelt gained a lot on Eckert there, as he has reeled in that lead in about half. As now Eckert might start facing pressure from his team owner, Kevin Bartelt, the second place man in CORT National Cup Series points, heading into Michigan tomorrow night, and is looking to try and gain the top spot in that series as the series heads to the High Bank 2-mile oval tomorrow night.
Kevin Bartelt trying to close in on his teammate and bringing Brian Sullivan along with him. As I see, Johnny Eckert's truck has really tightened up over the course of the last 3 laps. It's hard for him to keep it down on the bottom, and coming off the corners, that's where he's losing most of his time, as these front 3 have opened up a bit of a gap on 4th place Steven Taylor.
They've ate about half a tenth out of that lead, now about a full tenth, as now Eckert's going to start facing pressure from the 99 GoASRA.com Chevrolet of Kevin Bartelt. Brian Sullivan directly behind them. As you said, a little bit of a gap between them and Steven Taylor.
Wow, that was close on the wall there.
As now he might face pressure from Bartelt a little bit earlier than expected into turn 3. Bartelt with a little bit of a higher line, going to cut back down. He's diamonding the corners a bit. That seems to be helping him out, as Bartelt will get a little bit loose off of turn number 4, and that will give Eckert a little bit more of a reprieve as they head into 1 again.
Both these guys look like they're overdriving just a little bit, and as I say that, I see Brian Sullivan do the same thing. They all just need to calm down, relax, get in a groove, and that's what will make them run each other down, per se, as Johnny Eckert just wants to pull away.
Joseph Cervone got a little bit loose right in front of Kyle Young, the points leader, or the third place man in points, I should say, as now they are battling hard there for the 5th spot. We'll try and follow that, but right now the focus is on the front of the field. Eckert, 4/10 of a second, a little bit higher lane through 1 and 2 that time. He gets a little bit of a better run off of 2 that time, but now Bartelt is trying to eat into that lead.
As you go through turn number 3, you see Bartelt is trying to gain every little advantage that he can get. But just that clean air just keeps him up front. A couple of mistakes here and there, but clean air still, it looks like he's going to be the key.
Yeah, as they head through 1 and 2 again, Bartelt trying to reel in Eckert. That is Brian Sullivan, the man who led so many laps. He led 34 of the first 61 laps of tonight's event. He is running in the 3rd position, as now that battle might be the battle on the racetrack to watch out for. That 2nd position is starting to open up a bit.
And that points leader, Steven Taylor, running in 4th position. He's starting to eyeball these two up here. He's been kind of quiet in the early stages of this race. Now he's wanting to get up there and see if he can extend this points lead over a struggling Mike Husby and, I wouldn't say struggling Kyle Young, because Kyle Young's in 5th place right behind him.
Husby still running in the 9th spot, so
Husby got a little scared there. He was sideways out of that exit.
Husby not having a fun night, as now he's actually going to fall in the 9th spot. I misspoke. He is now in the 9th spot. Riley Roush moves to the 8th spot. Tough night for Husby, the title contender. Coming into tonight, needed a good run to keep up with Steven Taylor, but quite a disappointing run for that 6 punch here tonight. Here they go down the back straightaway as Bartelt has 8 into that lead a little bit more of Eckert's.
Yeah, these front four.
Top four, it's all right together. This is going to be a great finish, guys.
Something that's common with this CORT SuperTruck Tour presented by Race Points Manager is great finishes. We've had quite a few of them, even right here on CORT Vision, as we had that great finish with the 1-800 Car Cash Mid-Spring Nationals 2 weeks ago right here on CORT Vision with this series. Is now Bartelt looks to the inside. Eckert says, no, not quite yet. Don't even think about it. As these two kind of just, I think, trying to just log laps, just keep in touch with the leader there as they head to 35 laps to go.
These front four just seems like they're getting closer and closer and closer to each other as they realize the laps are ticking down and this win is in sight. Johnny Eckert really, really wants to win, and I can tell he's been driving the wheels off of the truck in pretty much every car he's been in. I can imagine him in rush hour traffic in his local town wanting to push people out of the way. That's the way he's driving right now, as he wants to get this win.
Here we go. Bartelt on the outside. Is he going to make a move on the long way? No, but he might face pressure for Brian Sullivan now. He got a really nice run off of turn number 4. Wasn't able to quite do anything with it. Will he be able to do something off of turn number 2?
Brian Sullivan trying to close in. Kevin Bartelt, he made a mistake going to the outside. I don't think it's going to work. Not with worn tires. Maybe fresh tires, but I see, ooh, wow, they're all getting loose coming off of 4. These tires are really starting to wear as Brian Sullivan looks to the inside of Kevin Bartelt going into 1.
Here we go. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Not quite, as Bartelt will lose the 2nd position. Here goes Sullivan to the 2nd spot, as now Steven Taylor looks into the 3rd position. Wow. One false move, and you could be all the way down to 4th.
These treacherous entries into turn, those are the trouble spots, and it's just, if you get it wrong, you get your whole lap wrong, and as you can tell here, Kevin just almost lost 2 positions there, but he looks like he's gathering it back up and trying to hit his marks again here.
Brian Sullivan now trying to reclaim what he held on to the entire first half of this one. He is now in the 2nd spot, reeling in Johnny Eckert, who has led 21 laps of the second half of the event. Now, Eckert off of turn number 4. Sullivan off of turn number 4. He's a little bit loose, but keeps it going, as now that leads about 2/10 as they head into 1.
Guys, I tell you, Brian Sullivan, he is driving the wheels off of that truck, and I think he is going for the lead here in a few laps. He has been beating Johnny Eckert coming off of every single corner the last 3 laps, and now Kevin Bartel's recovered. He's also setting his sights on these front two.
I'd like to jump in here and saying the 29 of Joseph Rowan has some issues with his truck. Huge right side damage. I'm not sure when it happened, but he is falling right back. He is battling with Gilmore's going from dropping back to the 10th position. Sorry.
Yeah, Jeff Gilmore with some issues, or Kevin Joe Cervone with some issues here as we head into the final stages of this one. 30 laps to go. Sullivan trying to eyeball Johnny Eckert's lead. He really wants it back. Hasn't been able to quite do it yet. As Lithuania, number 90, trying to hold off the K&N Filters, number 22, as here we go. Eckert got a little bit loose off of turn number 4. Here they go, side by side into one.
Johnny Eckert was trying to block him in a slight way, as per se, but he won't be able to hold him, as now Brian Sullivan, he's going to go all the way down near the white line. He's looking on the inside of Johnny Eckert going into 3. Not going to be able to pull it off coming out of 4.
Here goes Eckert. He's trying to hang on. Sullivan still has the inside line. Will he have it as they come to the line? No, but barely. As now here comes Sullivan back on the inside, and as these two battle, move Kevin Bartelt and Steven Taylor into this battle, as Sullivan will take the lead. He gets on the inside. He will take the lead as now the battle's for second.
Caution is out.
Caution is out on the speedway.
It's Cervone on the front stretch, spun out.
Joseph Cervone spins on the front straightaway as the caution comes out, and just when Brian Sullivan will take the lead and have a chance to make a big move here and check out, not so fast, and now the question comes, what do you do under this caution?
If it was up to me, 4 tires. No fuel though, but give me some 4 fresh tires. I would be good to go here. I don't know, 2 tires will get it. Like you see, Sean Sadler's up to P6. He might make it like a risky move here because he has nothing really to lose here. And with that damage, I don't know if it will help him or give him a huge disadvantage. But we're going to see here as they come around turn 4 to hit the pit road.
What about somebody like Kyle Young, who is just trying to get as much as he can here in this points battle?
Speaking of Kyle Young, I was thinking Mike Husby. Husby's second in points, and he hasn't done anything all night. I think he's going to be the one to take 2 tires on this stop here.
And Riley Roush staying out again.
Riley Roush will stay out. We'll see if that is a good move for him. Here they go. Pit stops occurring here late in the going. 26 laps to go. Let's see if they can get all that they can. Let's see here. Right sides will go up on the main contenders here tonight. We'll see if left sides come up. Yes, they will. Left side tires also getting used here tonight. Hey, Kevin Bartelt will get out as it appears as if it's a mad scramble for the 4th position.
No.
Didn't quite catch who got out first, or who got out 4th, I should say. Steven Taylor looks as if he held on to the 4th spot. So no real change at the front of the field out of the drivers who did pit, other than Riley Roush deciding to come in.
Close race off of pit road for 4th, but Brian Sullivan's going to keep the lead. Now, on the first run, Brian Sullivan was great on the long run. Johnny Eckert was good on the short run. We're setting up for an in-between run. So we're going to see who can get this win here at Milwaukee.
I don't mean to alarm you, but development has occurred. Steve Taylor is not out there on the racetrack. That's a big development here. Steven Taylor, the points leader, has he fallen out?
Connection issues, yep.
Is he out of the server, or?
Not yet.
Not yet. Taylor needs to get back in the server. Connection needs to improve. He has already gone 1 lap down.
That's a tough break for that guy, as Kyle Young and Mike Husby are rejoicing big time now. But yes, he has now fallen through, and that's going to change everything.
That's one of the unique things we have to deal with in sim racing versus the real world. Is this type of stuff. It's unfortunate for him. He's having a good top 5 run, maybe even possibly a good probably a top 1 finish, if you want to call it that, a win. But, yep, tough break.
This is big for the point standings. The championship leader with connection issues here at Milwaukee, as this is huge. There are 10 trucks still running out there, which means that Husby and Young need to capitalize on this, and they need to capitalize on it right now, as this is a big chance for them to gain points, valuable points, as they head into the final 2 races of the season. They head to Richmond next week, and then the season finale at Bristol 2 weeks from tonight. One heck of a development here. One big event right now, as Riley Roush will be your leader as we come to the green with 24 laps to go.
25 lap old tires versus an entire field with 4 fresh new tires. This turn 1 and 2 is going to be extremely interesting to see, and probably be a little bit exciting here.
Could this be the Globetrotters facing the Generals? We'll see as they come off of turn number 4. Pace car making the hard left. Here we go. We're back under green in Milwaukee.
Riley Roush gets a good start. Now it's going to be key. Can Johnny Eckert get under Brian Sullivan? It looks like he's going to dive it in there and see if he can take this spot coming off of 2. He's door to door with them as they're going to make it 3 wide for the lead here in Milwaukee.
3 wide in Milwaukee is not really well known, but they're going to do it.
Oh god, 4 wide it looks like here.
Here we go, as now Eckert has the inside on Sullivan. Eckert making the move on the inside. Will he be able to clear Sullivan off of 4? He will. Brian Sullivan drops second. Kevin Bartelt now contending for second.
Told you that was going to be exciting and entertaining.
Here goes Bartelt trying to make the move on Sullivan. He will. Bartelt will slot into the 3rd spot. Kyle Young running 4th. Big move right when he needs it for this championship.
He really wants to capitalize on Steven Taylor's unfortunate events here. So P4, that'd be a fantastic point to say for him.
Steven Taylor back out there. Damage is done, however. 3 laps down in the 10th or 11th position, actually. So Taylor running in the 3rd or running in the 11th spot, 3 laps down. A big development. Connection issues plagued the championship leader coming about 3/4 of the event tonight. Eckert still leads by about half a second over his team owner, Kevin Bartelt.
Bartelt trying to set his sights on Johnny Eckert. I don't think it's going to be to any avail. Johnny Eckert's going to set sail, I think, because he is strong on the early run. Kyle Young, Mike Husby, they're going to gain some major points here in this. It's going to tighten everything up as the leaders come down the back straightaway on 20 to go.
This is going to be one heck of a title fight as we head into the final 2 races of the season. Now, Eckert backs up a bit. Here comes Bartelt. Bartelt in the ASRA machine trying to reel in the number 90 of Eckert as they head down the front stretch. 4/5 of this one done. We got a 5th of it to go.
The public chat here on the radios, all quiet. Everybody's focused here. 18 to go. What's going to happen, guys?
I've got my money on Johnny Eckert. While I don't want to count Kevin Bartelt out. He literally is white hot in every car he's been in, as he's getting ready to look on the inside of his own teammate Johnny Eckert, who goes to the bottom. He wants to block. He does not want to lose this win.
Meanwhile, Brian Sullivan to the inside of Bartelt. Here we go. Move Sullivan back to the 2nd spot.
Don't want to make those late mistakes. Not much time to rebound from his. Bartelt goes right on his bumper of Sullivan, as Eckert is just like, yeah, you can race all you want.
Here we go off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. 17 laps to go in tonight's GoDaddy 100 here at the Milwaukee Mile. They head through 1 and 2 once again. Brian Sullivan needs to eat an this lead if he wants any chance. He's 2/10 back as they head down the back straightaway.
Last little green flag run we had, we saw all the drivers overdriving it. Right now, they're driving it just perfect, especially that number 22, because he is setting his sights on the 90. We're coming to get 16 laps to go here at Milwaukee, and it's going to be anybody's race.
Through 1 and 2 again. Now, Sullivan needs to eat another lead if he wants to contend. And when these two start battling for the lead, you got to think Kevin Bartelt and Kyle Young and Mike Husby, who has now moved himself into the 5th position, are going to be right there with them.
Just looking back in the field here for a moment here, I'll just give it a little shout out. P8, Robert Hill. That's a good run for him.
Robert Hill, facing some difficult circumstances, was given an ultimatum by
getting to show him some blocks.
Yeah, Gilmore trying to gang in there, but Robert Hill real quick was given an ultimatum by his team owner Kevin Bartelt, told him, hey, you got to start showing up and running some of these support races to help you in the CORT National Cup Series. As now he's blocking him all the way. Oh, and he gets turned. Robert Hill turned down the back straightaway. Caution is out. Wow.
Now, that's something, I don't know. I feel unnecessary on both drivers' part. You don't need to be blocking for the 9th position with 15 to go, but I think both could have given some room. That just very unfortunate for both drivers who had top 10s going, and now they're both ended up with torn up trucks.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Like, I'm looking at the replay here. Just, I don't know. The 20 was a bit all over the place, so to speak, and he just cut him down a little bit, and just somewhat you can say Gilmore had nowhere to go, but he can give a little bit more room too. It's going to be very interesting to see what the call is here.
Indeed. Now, what do? Who pits? Who stays out? Brian Sullivan stays out. Johnny Eckert's in. Kevin Bartelt in. Kyle Young in. Sean Sadler stays out. Mike Husby's in. Drivers have to be taking 2 tires here, but we're going to see who does what, as we are going to have about 9 laps to go when we get the green flag. Will it be worth it?
Those 4 tires we were seeing earlier, 10 lap bowl tires. Oh, it looks like Eckert just took 2 right sides. He's going out.
We're going to see if that gives them an advantage. We have Johnny Eckert 2 tires, Kevin Bartelt 2 tires, Kyle Young 4, Mike Husby 4. He just beats Joseph Cervone off. He takes 4. So a lot of guys pit, 2 guys stay out. And we're going to have quite a battle here. Guys with 2 tires, guys with 4 tires, guys that stayed out. Points on the line, win on the line. Oh man, we're going to have a doozy here.
Yeah, he's so we had a little interesting battle there with Robert. We never heard anything yet on the team channel about it yet, so we have to keep you updated on that. Like I said, Sullivan stays out, Sadler stays out, Eckert with 2 tires, Bartelt 2 tires, Kyle Young with 4 tires. Yeah, good thing I'm not a betting man.
Now, judging by what we saw earlier in the race, Sean Sadler did take 2, and he hung with the leaders there for a little bit. And we've only got a little bit to go, so I feel like Johnny Eckert and Kevin Bartelt are going to be the guys to get up here and try and get a win. I don't know. It's going to be hard. Brian Sullivan's just been strong all night.
So Brian Sullivan stays out under the caution, and Sean Sadler will stay out as well.
And we have Johnny Eckert, Kevin Bartelt. They're on 2 tires, and the rest of the field is on 4. We're coming to get the 1 to go now, I believe. And we're going to have 10 laps to go when we get the green flag here at Milwaukee. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Who do you have, Hayes?
Like I said, well, I'm not really much of a betting man, but Sullivan, he looks good. But he didn't pit, so clean there. He's going to be betting on that, or maybe even a late caution. Eckert, I'm going to have to say Eckert. 3rd position, he can split him 3 wide here with the advantage of the 2 tires. But Bartelt, he can't count him out. He can't count nobody out here in the top 5, or even the top 6.
So you've got Johnny Eckert?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it weird with Johnny Eckert. I would love to see him win.
Well, I'm going to go with his teammate here, Kevin Bartelt. The man has literally been white hot over the last 3 weeks. I think he's going to keep it going. He's going to get by all 3 of these guys, and he's going to take the win as the pace car is rolling through 3 and 4 for what we hope is the final restart.
Through turn number 4. Pace car is going to be ducking on off here. Pace car is off, and the green flag is back out here in the GoDaddy 100 with less than 10 laps to go.
Look at Bartel, what a run. He wants to get up there, so does Johnny Eckert with get runs. Kevin Bartel's going to make it 3 wide with Johnny Eckert here in turn 2. He's going to try and get by on the outside. He's not going to do it as Johnny Eckert gets a great run off of 2. He's going to put his sights right on Brian Sullivan.
Both through 3 and 4 once again. Here we go. Exciting battles here. Here we go.
Eckert
10 laps to go. Now 9 laps to go.
Johnny Eckert all over the back bumper. He's going to look to the inside. Gets a little loose. He's not going to be able to do it. I think Brian Sullivan's going to have that inside line, and he does as Kevin Bartel sets his sights on these 2. They are literally bumper to bumper coming out of turn 4.
You gotta make it run like a road course. You gotta set them up there in the last possible second here, and that's what looks like what Eckert is trying to do, and Bartel's coming pretty quickly behind him.
Meanwhile, back in 4th, Kyle Young, Mike Husby for 5th. Those 2 guys having great points as Steven Taylor did run into some trouble as now Johnny Eckert looks to the inside of Brian Sullivan. And they somehow do not wad it up. Brian Sullivan on the outside gets a slight bit loose, and Johnny Eckert move him to the top spot as Kevin Bartel is sideways.
Eckert P1 at the line here, lap 94.
Johnny Eckert's taking the lead. Remember, he does have 2 tires. Kevin Bartel, he's got 2 tires as well, but look at the man behind him who's got 4. That is Kyle Young, and he is all over the back bumper of that very loose machine of Kevin Bartel. Johnny Eckert
coming off of 4 here again. 6 laps to go.
Johnny Eckert running through turn 2. Brian Sullivan behind him. Kevin Bartel in 3rd. Kyle Young 4th. Mike Husby 5th. That rounds out your top 5 as now Brian Sullivan's starting to close it up a little bit more on Johnny Eckert.
Those old 4 tires hanging in there for Sullivan. I'm surprised about that. And I think Kyle Young is just too far back or not a lot of time left, but as Eckert leads him through turn 3 and 4 with less than 5 laps to go.
I've noticed these front 5 guys, they've tightened it up a little bit. Look at Riley Roush, he's back there in 6th. He has literally been outside pretty much the top 7 this whole race. Now he wants to get up there and make some noise, but I don't think he's got enough time as Kevin Bartel tries to get a run on Brian Sullivan. In fact, he does get one. He's going to close in on the bumper, but not enough. They're going to remain pretty much the exact same distance they've been the last 3 laps as we've got 4 to go.
Through turn number 2, single file. Nobody making a move. Looks like Bartel gets a bumper, but he keeps it in single file. Oh, he goes really close to the bumper. But Eckert is pulling away about a couple of truck lengths here at it as they come through turn number 4 to start lap 98.
3 laps to go. Kyle Young looking on the inside of Kevin Bartel now for 3rd. He's not going to get it, though. Kevin Bartel drives it in deep as now Brian Sullivan slides up the track just a little bit. Don't think it's going to affect him too much as Johnny Eckert is looking in his rearview mirror and smiling as he knows he's only got about 2.5 miles to go.
Get a bit of a gap here. 4/10 last lap. It's a good, comfortable gap as we get 2 laps to go here. Great battle here with 2nd through 4th, or sort of 2nd through 5th there as they come back through turn number 1. Coming to the white flag next time by.
Johnny Eckert realizes he's got 1.5 miles till victory. He has had a great race. Started all the way from 2nd or 3rd. I forgot where he qualified, but it looks like he's going to hold on as long as he doesn't get loose, as Kevin Bartel wants that 2nd position as they take the white flag.
White flag, 1 lap to go here at the GoDaddy 100 at the Milwaukee Mile.
Brian Sullivan tries one last ditch going into 1 and 2. It's not going to work. Now Kevin Bartel, he is going to get a great run coming off of 2. He might look on the inside going into 3 as Johnny Eckert sails it into 3 for the win.
As Johnny Eckert, he's going through turn number 4. He's going to take the checker flag. His first career win in the CORT SuperTrucks series. There he is. He got it.
Johnny Eckert with the win. Brian Sullivan finishes 2nd. Kevin Bartelt remains a pretty lukewarm driver, and he finishes 3rd. Kyle Young and Mike Husby 4th and 5th. They closed in quite a bit as your points leader Steven Taylor finished 11th. Riley Roush finished 6th. Jeff Gilmore 7th. Sean Sadler 8th. Robert Hill Jr. 9th. He is the last driver on the lead lap. Joseph Savone and Steven Taylor, as I mentioned before, 10th and 11th, 2 laps down. Chris Sweat with his earlier accident, 67 laps down. And your first driver out, Julian Madore, will round out 13th as 92 laps down as Johnny Eckert burns them down on the front straightaway.
Too bad we didn't have money on that there, Corey. Eckert got it.
It explains why you're not a gambling man, my friend, and neither am I. As we will be going to break here, Johnny Eckert is your winner here at Milwaukee, and we can get a word with him. We'll have to see just what his post-race activities look like. We'll be back in just a moment.
Tonight, Court Vision is...
And we're back here at the Milwaukee Raceway. I can never forget. I know it's the Milwaukee Mile, and Johnny Eckert has run 100 miles, and we are going to catch up with him in Victory Lane as Johnny Eckert was your winner tonight. Kevin Bartelt did run 2nd. Third, excuse me. So we do have teammates there finishing 1st and 3rd. Andrew, I hear you've caught up with Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, you started back from the 11th position, and you worked your way up there to the top 3. How did the truck feel going through the entire field?
Truck was great tonight. If I didn't mess up on my qualifying lap and tag the wall, we would have had a pole time, but screwed that up, so I had to work my way through. Came close to having a few incidents there, but good night overall. Truck felt good. Brian had us beat on the long run, though. He had something else with that thing. He was a rocket.
On that last pit stop there with about 10 laps to go, were you complimenting on 4 tires, or you wanted to stick with 2? Was your strategy set there?
Well, I saw that the crew chief was telling me that the tire wear wasn't so bad on the left sides, especially on a shorter run. So we rolled the dice, went with 2. Johnny and I really didn't discuss it between us, and both our crews came up with the same decision. So we both went out there, got 2 tires, and gave it our best shot, and worked out well for him.
Okay, anyone want to thank out there?
Well, I got to thank the guys that support my truck, my league, GoASRA.co at the American Sim Racing Association. Thursday nights, Be Fixed. Got to thank Johnny and Robert. Johnny, he helped me get faster here, so, big night for us.
Thank you much. That was Kevin Bartelt in the number 99 GoASRA.co Chevrolet Silverado.
All right, and we're going to throw it over to David Amboys. I believe he's caught up with our winner, Johnny Eckert.
Yes, I have, as we apologize for the technical difficulties all night. Some gremlins here at the Milwaukee Mile. You deal with an old track, you deal with some old equipment, so unfortunately, we apologize for the lack of quality on this broadcast. But tonight, we've caught up with Johnny Eckert, our winner tonight, his second career court victory. Johnny, congratulations, buddy. How'd you get it done tonight?
Thank you, guys. It was a tough race. I had quite a bit of practice going into tonight. It was a tough race. There was quite a bit of competition out there, and the truck was a little tight coming off the corners, for me at least. It was on and off, the longer a run went on. It started to get looser, and then it would get tight, and it was hard to combat that. But I was able to hold on through the first run, and then after the competition caution, it was just doing my best to stay up front. But I got to thank Kevin for all his help and coaching me through that.
Now, Johnny, you decided to take 4 tires right there at the end with those about 3 laps to go. Or not three, about a dozen laps to go, I should say. My bad. How important was getting those 4 tires and making sure that you were able to hold off Brian Sullivan, who led so much in front of that in the first part of the race?
Yeah, well, at the end there, Kevin and I were taking 4 tires under every caution, trying to stay ahead of everybody. We knew that 4 tires would be the best option. They were the best handling, and there at the end we took 2. Kevin did the same. We didn't talk about it, and our teams came up with the same plan. But we hoped that my team hoped that we were going to have the advantage over the guys ahead of us, and that if we got past them fast enough, that they would hopefully slow down the guys that had the 4 tires, which luckily played out. It was a tough decision because I knew I wasn't prepared for 2 tires, but I knew that I had to do it in order to get an opportunity to win. So.
All right, and who gets it done for you here in the championship online racing teams?
Well, first I have to thank my team, at Kevin Bartell Motorsports. I got to thank Kevin for all his help, and Robert as well. We had a practice session recently, and through all the laps that we all ran, all the information that we got from those couple drivers, it really helped me to get better at the track. So got to thank them. I also got to thank my sponsors, Best Buy, and Asus. Without them, I wouldn't be on the track.
All right, that is Johnny Eckert, your winner tonight of the GoDaddy 100 here at the Milwaukee Mile. Congratulations, Johnny. We'll let you go ahead and celebrate.
Thanks. I just want to mention one more thing. I want to dedicate this win to my grandma, who passed away just over a month ago. It was tough, but one goes out to her and my family. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Johnny, and for a good cause there, and we wish you the best of nights.
Thank you. You too, guys.
All right, so that's Johnny Eckert's second career victory here in the championship online racing teams. Why don't we go ahead and review the results here tonight? Apologize again for the technical difficulties throughout the evening. Hopefully they won't flare up when the CORT RPM race of the week happens next week at Richmond for the Cup Series next Wednesday, 8:55 here on CORT Vision. And of course, ASRA Live View from Kansas. That's this upcoming Thursday, back permitting in my case, 8:55 here on CORT Vision on Thursday from Kansas. Should be a good one. Okay, your running order. Johnny Eckert comes home with the victory. What else can be said? A great victory for Johnny. Brian Sullivan, truck of the night, first half of the race, just wasn't quite able to get back to the top spot after it.
Yeah, he definitely wishes that he could redo all of that. I think he would want to come back in and take 2 tires on that final restart. If he does, I feel like that win was definitely his. But tough break, and I'm sure he's gonna get a win eventually. He's got to. He's too talented not to.
Hottest driver in CORT right now, Kevin Bartell, comes home in the third spot.
Yeah, Kevin, he has been hot lately. top 3. He's happy. He thanked everybody, his crew. Good strategy. Got him up there from P11 to P3.
Kyle Young, what can be said? Both title contenders taking big advantage of Steven Taylor's issues. He comes home 4th.
Yeah, Kyle Young was, I want to say, quiet most of the night and hovered between the 5 to 8, 9 place. The second he saw Steven Taylor had an advantage, light switched on, and he said, look, I've got to take advantage of this. I've got to get up there in the points. Unfortunately, the man behind him is ahead of him in points as well, so he didn't gain too much on second place, but he did gain a lot on first.
Mike Husby, 5th. And that's got to be a victory for that team after the way they were running so poorly in the first half.
Yeah, that is a win to him. Sideways pretty much for 99 of the 100 laps. We didn't really even see him there at the end there at top 5, so I'm pretty shocked to hear that, but good job to Mike Husby.
Riley Roush comes home 6th. Great run for the Super Speedway Ace.
Riley Roush came out of nowhere. I mean, he was back in 10th, 11th place, sideways, damage on the truck, and then out of nowhere, he's running 6th. So how he did that, I don't know, but maybe he'll pull some magic later on this week and whatnot.
Jeff Gilmore, one of the more controversial, going to be one of the most talked about incidents of this event tonight, taking out Robert Hill. Fair or foul, do you think, Mr. Hayes?
Well, we got to hear what the race officials say about that. It was hard to tell by our angle, but yeah, it was an unfortunate events there on the backstretch. It's going to be interesting to hear what will play place, and we'll keep you updated on that as the news comes in.
All right, Sean Sadler came home in the 8th spot after losing it right before the halftime break.
Yeah, it's a shame, Sean Sadler. He was running up in the top 5 there for a little bit of the race, and then just out of nowhere got loose. And I mean, it did have to do with the wall, of course, but got a little loose, backed the fence in, and luckily still finished in the top 10. So we'll see exactly what that might do for him in the future.
Robert Hill, 9th place, was involved in that accident that brought out the final caution.
Yes, yeah, Robert. It's gonna be like it's not much else to talk about that, but
Gonna have to review it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to review it.
Yeah, absolutely. Justice Savone Racing Newspaper will eke out a top 10 after being running in the top 5 there near the end.
Yeah, he was showing some flashes of being a very fast truck, but I feel like he was overdriving it. And I think that cost him a chance at a top 5 finish. But I think he's looking forward to next week when we go to Richmond, and we'll see what he can do possibly.
Steven Taylor. What cannot be said about that tough break for Steven Taylor, the points leader coming into tonight? Got out 4th on the final pit stop, and then connection issues. And it's going to cost him possibly the points lead tonight.
I'd say when all that was going down, he was saying some few colorful words there. It's tough break, man. P11, with a series with about an average of 15 trucks per field, that is like equivalent to a 30th place finish there. He's going to have to get going here on the last 2 races of this season here.
Richmond and Bristol will be so important. Chris Sweat had a run going, had a good run going. But again, unfortunately, Chris not able to make it to the end of this one.
You know, I'm going to say we've got to do something from here on out. Let's not discuss the fact that Chris has had trouble in almost every race this season. Let's just not even bring it up. And hopefully he can finish one of these things without something crazy or bizarre happening. He just gets loose, and it cost him big time on an overcorrection. And tough break for Chris. That's all I can say.
Another driver who had a really good run going, albeit just 8 laps into the event, Julian Medor, will come home 13th.
Yeah, my man Julian, CORT champion from the past. He led the first 7 laps, then just lost it out of turn 2. He either has a great finish or he's in the back. It's just there's no in between. It seems like, but just gotta hope for the guy to have these final couple races be great for him.
Feast or famine for Medor. All right, the series next week off to the Richmond International Raceway as a support event for the CORT National Cup Series race that will be here on CORT Vision. Chances are, who knows? We've broadcasted the last 3 straight CORT Super Truck events. Maybe we end up pulling some strings. Maybe we can cover the last 2 as well. ASRA Live View from Kansas, Thursday, 8:55 p.m. Eastern on CORT Vision. That will be coming this Thursday. Covering for the ASRA. We'll see if it's going to be an onboard shot with me or if it'll be a regular traditional broadcast like you see here tonight. And of course, next week, the CORT Race Points Manager Race of the Week, the CNCS, the CORT National Cup Series, live from Richmond as drivers try and punch their ticket to the CORT All-Star Challenge in about 3 weeks' time. That will be at Richmond next Wednesday, not this upcoming Wednesday tomorrow, next Wednesday, 8:55 p.m. here on CORT Vision. Andrew, Corey, it was a pleasure. We got to do this again.
If we do it again, can my tonsils not be so bad? Literally every time I've been off the microphone, I have been coughing like crazy and somehow kept it together. But it has been a blast, and we had a great finish. Congratulations to Johnny Eckert on a great win.
Yeah, great race, great win. Really classy driver to win it. John Eckert, I like him a lot. He's gonna hopefully be around CORT for a long time. Hopefully a championship is in sight for him soon.
Absolutely. Want to thank you guys for coming on out. Hey, did a pretty good job. Hayes, you were a little apprehensive, but I say you guys did a great job bringing it to the end. Unfortunately, connection issues on my part, believe it or not, will cost me the chance to call the finish. But I think Corey and Andrew, you guys did a fantastic job.
I appreciate that, Dave. You do a great job as always, and glad we can call the race with you.
All right, so we'll be back on Thursday, ASRA Live View from Kansas. Next Wednesday, the CORT Super Cup. That's Kevin's deal. The CORT National Cup Series from Richmond next Wednesday. Who knows? We might be even back on the air 1 week from tonight. We have the CORT Super Truck Tour presented by Race Points Manager at Richmond, and the way this title fight has gone, it's been one heck of a show. And we'll have to see what we can do about that. So for Andrew Hayes, Corey Stevens, and the rest of our CORT Vision crew, we apologize for the technical difficulties throughout the evening. Hopefully we got them all sorted out by the time we head on the air next week. So for all of us, thank you very much. We'll catch you guys next time. So long, everybody.